Maybe it was a divorce that happened, over the holiday season, or a child that died. Um, Moving past that for the future and not letting those memories stop you in your tracks.
Yeah. So there's something that needs to be processed here. So I would just ask the person, are you willing to process it? Like, there's a huge boulder. Like, I can see like this path of like fun and happiness and excitement on the other side. It's really the willingness and the commitment to climb over the boulder or move it or go around it. But that takes a little bit of effort. So that would be the first place that I would start, because some people, Peggy, don't want to. They just don't want to, right? And others do. We talked about this earlier, right? So that would be the first place I would start, at choice, and because if we start at a place of, well, what do you really want? They might just say, I just want to avoid the holidays. Okay, great. I just want to avoid it. And, what are you stepping on? What value are you stepping on by doing that? Well, I might be stepping on family, or, connection with others, or, being alone, or anything, right? So it is a choice. And then, we would probably do what's coming up over here is like, we would do some work on forgiveness. We do some deep work on forgiveness, like really go into it and process it, to be honest. A good place to start, and I'll tell you this, I've used this a ton, is the Book of Forgiveness. I hope that's okay that I can put that into the space. The Book of Forgiveness, and it's by the Archbishop Desmond Tutu. And it is brilliant. I love it because it's talking about Africa and apartheid, and it's giving these examples that are very extreme, that were horrific, and they brought an entire country to peace, to a greater or lesser extent, through this forgiveness work. So it takes you pretty deep. Forgiveness of self and forgiveness of other. And for me, it helped me put into perspective, the forgiveness work I had to do in comparison to, the suffering of an entire country. And there are many work, there's a lot of books out there and a lot of really great resources.
To bring it out in the open, that's the boulder, is the unforgiveness. It's the thing that you have to get past first before you can even start to celebrate, because it's what's holding you back, definitely. And it requires effort. Truly.
It does require effort. People are like, well, that's just so much work. It's like, well, how much work is it to go to your family events and suffer, or sit at home and be alone? It's like when I was talking earlier, sometimes we have decades of, stuff to unpack. And it's like, I'm carrying it on my back anyway. So, and it's weighing me down. I've got the boulder on my back. So, it's really just a choice of, when do I want to put it down?
Oh, yes. When? Exactly. That's exactly it. Because either you're going to get to a point where it's become too heavy and you're going to collapse. Or, you just finally say, enough's enough.
And here's the secret, is that if my kids see me carrying that boulder around, there's a high probability they're going to carry their own boulder around. It may be the same exact boulder, or it may be a different boulder, but that's what they learn. And so if we're talking about parenting here and parenting kids, any kids, right? They are watching what I do. So I am always asking myself, am I modeling this behavior? Do I want to see her in 20 years carrying that boulder around in her back?
Right.
Usually the answer is no.
We want our children to be free and, not duplicate the mistakes that I made. And unfortunately, we do that without even thinking, that we are. And I've asked my children for forgiveness for many things. Because after you learn, you go, oh my goodness, I've carried you along on this. And I'm like, so I sit my kids down. I'm like, okay, this is what I just learned. You got to realize that this is where I screwed up. I don't want you to do the same. I'm bringing it out in the open. And my boys are like, oh, mom again. But they need to hear it. And, because when they go through struggles of their own, which my oldest went through a major thing a couple weeks ago. And when we were dealing with it, we go, you know what? It's life. Things like this happen. And he had such a hard time forgiving himself for it. And I just said, move on. Got to move on. And learn from it. Just know that it's something we told you and you were ignoring us about, and now it's out in the open. So hallelujah. But as a parent, that's how I have to perceive, myself and my kids, is at least it's something I see instead of something that I don't see.
Yeah.
Because we all have baggage.
Yep.
And
I like to tell my kids, I'm doing a better job than my parents did, and you'll do a better job than I'm doing. That's just evolution. That's